The SFR GT Challenge Round 6 for the GTC3 division. We're at Fuji International Speedway, a 37 lap race, and I'm with my partner PX7 Rodrigo. How you doing today, bud?
Hello everyone, I'm really good today. I think this can be a really good race. I know I repeat myself way too often, but the races are really fun. And this is a really good track, and I think that Mount Fuji will be well and truly alive on this racetrack today with the GTC3 drivers, so we will be looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a thrill. We did have the GTC1 division that put on a show. GTC2 was really exciting down to the wire as well. And yeah, excuse me, I think that GTC3 will be very exciting as well. Now, we have to mention that there have been a few changes in the lineup with a little more than half the season to go. These drivers can still make a real solid impact and actually win the championship. So we had Magic Man from Rockefeller that did come into this division a week or two ago. 2 rounds ago. We have Chio, who was the championship leader of this division, has been bumped up to GTC2 and put on a really good show. And then we have Little Mac from RWB in his Mercedes, who is now in GTC3, and he will certainly be looking to wreak havoc. So there has been a few switch ups here. Also worth mentioning, Rodrigo, is the car changes. We have car change swaps here from a lot of the drivers here. So we'll have to get you updated on that as they go through. But yeah, we do have a few changes that should definitely play interesting here. And we had our partner Josh, who did broadcast the GTC3 division last round at Nürburgring, so you did see some of the car swaps. But yeah, we're here from here on out, and as always, me and Rodrigo will do the best we can.
Yep, like always, we're here to have fun, and we hope that you have fun with us too. So, yep, shall we start right now, Rocky?
Yeah, we should start right now. Before we get going, I just want to mention to everybody out there that if you'd like to get involved with the SFR GT Challenge, you can do so on Facebook at SFR GT Challenge. There's a Discord link in there, and we'll be more than happy to have you participate in the league. And one last thing before we actually get started, we have a BDRT driver who probably wants to kill us, and his name is Twilight and not Twilly. Me, you, and Josh got that wrong, so I don't feel so bad, Rod.
Yes, so hopefully we don't forget and we get it right this time, of course.
Yes, alright, so without further ado, let's get things underway right now. And we have Magic Man on pole from One Wing to Little Mac, Death Scythe, MDez, your top 5, J-Rod, Anubis, and Joey Cannoli is your top 8.
5 lights. And we're underway. Looks like a very good start for every single driver in the top 3, even the top 5. As we are 3 wide coming into turn 1, a little bit of bumping as Little Mac tries to find the gap. Worth mentioning, Little Mac on his new ride. Oh, and there's a lot of contact as J-Rod initiated it, and Magic Man, our pole sitter, is down to 5th place, so he's had a really shocking start.
Yeah, Magic Man got the worst end of that stick as Little Mac takes us into the Coca-Cola bend with One Wing following, J-Rod behind. Little Mac on softs, One Wing is on the hards, J-Rod is on the softs, and Death Scythe is on the mediums.
Here comes J-Rod down the inside, now turns to the outside. One Wing will try to keep it on the inside, breaks a little more and gives J-Rod space. So yeah, and here comes Death Scythe on the outside too, getting involved.
Yeah, J-Rod got the run there. That was a great move by J-Rod. He knew he had to get that done quick.
Here comes Death Scythe into the chicane. But
One Wing cuts him
really
off.
There.
Take a look, Magic Man on the hards as well.
And he gets loose on exit, and now he takes the outside, does Death Scythe. Nope, he needs to sit back as we're into the really tight final sector. Let's go into the left-hander. Really a lot of possibilities for different racing lines into this section. As I think Death Scythe is going to have to wait until the straightaway to try and make it from One Wing. No. He doesn't wait any further and gets the move done.
Now this Ford has top end speed here. So does the Jag. One wing ducks in behind here.
Here we go. Devside is gonna have to protect the inside, but he's leaving a pretty big gap, and he's just losing time with one wing who's
banging doors. Banging doors.
A lot of bumping right there as both racing lines just drifted into each other, and one wing
overshoots.
One wing makes a mistake on his own and just goes out wide.
And look at that. He gives the position back to his teammates, and Anubis is actually the one that makes out from that. And Anubis is on the softs. Now he is up Twilight's rear end, and Twilight is on the mediums. Will Anubis go for the move here? He backs off patiently.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to make that move really soon, but he won't want to get desperate and collect Twilight. So yeah, he needs to get that position soon as he's running with the softs and Twilight running with the mediums.
We're on board with Anubis right now in the Viper. A recent switch from him. You go through this tight hairpin here. Very technical sector of the track. This final sector is very hard to get right.
Here, then again, many possibilities for different racing lines, so Anubis can probably get the move done for these corners. Twilight goes out wide for the final corner, cuts back in and gets a good exit, so does Anubis. So yeah, that's good racecraft. He's waiting for the straight, now he has the slipstream, an incredibly long straight line here, and I think he might get the move done with quite a bit of ease.
Really, really good driving by both drivers, and there it goes. Will he get the inside? He needs to take advantage of his soft tires here.
Yep, pulls alongside. He's gonna have to make the move done in the braking zone. He gets a bit of extra speed from the slipstream, but he parks it on the apex perfectly, doesn't brake any centimeter early or any centimeter later, and makes the move to speed.
And really good, respectful driving by Twilight there, knowing he's on the medium tires. Now he's looking to take the slipstream if he could hang with Anubis. And I'll tell you what, Magic Man in 5th place here is staying calm, cool, and collective after his teammate knocked him out on the first turn, and then he got it back with Death Scythe and One Wing having that little bit of an incident going into T1. Magic's on the hard, so this isn't a bad deal for him in 6th place, so he's tucking in behind Twilight. Let's get you an update from the leader, though. Little Mac has built about a 1.5 to 2 second gap up. His making his debut in this division here in his Merc, and he seems to be having little to no trouble at Mount Fuji, as you see the mountain in the distance there. Beautiful shot. And he's putting on a great performance for RWB. And a familiar face in BDRT J-Rod in 2nd place, also on the soft tires. And we have Death Scythe in 3rd on the mediums. So the 1 and 2 on the softs, 3rd place on the mediums, 4th place on the softs, 5th place Twilight on the mediums, 6th place Magic on the hards. Oh, look at this, 7th and 8th we have MDes from TPRT on the mediums. One Wing is on the hards.
These two were having an almighty battle for the final sector. We missed it, but now One Wing holds position actually, because MDes on the mediums is on the attack, as One Wing on the hards is struggling a little bit, as you do on the hards, comprehensively. So let's see, MDes tries to get around into the Coca-Cola corner. One Wing covers the inside, but I think that MDes is just tucking in behind for now.
It's got to be so frustrating for MDes.
One Wing drifts through, and now here is a wide corner, 180R, where MDes might be able to get the move done. No, not yet. Maybe into the hairpin. No, MDes is really, really patient through this all. But now, next corner, the slowest corner on the track, comes up, and I think that he might be able to break him, hopefully. Let's see.
Yeah, this is a really good sector for the Porsche coming up at the final sector, but on that final straightaway, good defense by One Wing there, but on that final straightaway is where that Ford GT just pulls through. You can see the Porsche on the better tires really making these sectors look like it's built for this car, but he couldn't get the job done before this straightaway happened. So One Wing goes wide.
Yep, but he's gonna have the inside for the final corner. A little bit of dirty tires though, rubbered up from out of the track. And I think he gets the move done.
He does get the move done. Nice job by Mdez. He needed to do that. Now he's going to have to go defensive for sure. Let's get you a little further through.
There's a change in the lead. J-Rod has just taken the lead from Little Mac. Simple move, goes to the inside and outbreaks him into turn 1. Let's see what Little Mac can do about that.
Oh, both get a little loose coming out of T1. Yep. And you know what? If we take a look at J-Rod's tires compared to Little Mac's, J-Rod has definitely managed his softs a little bit better.
Yep, he's taking care of those tires, which is always good later on into the stint. He looks to have a little bit less fuel though, so Little Mac is going to have to keep up with him on his new car, worth mentioning. I think, if I am not mistaken, he was on the BMW M6, but yeah, he's definitely keeping up with the leader at the moment.
Little Mac has been in the Merc actually the whole season.
Gotcha, then I got some drivers mixed up there.
Yeah, yep. There's been a ton of driver changes with car swaps, so I've gotten confused myself. J-Rod has been in the vet the whole season, so has Little Mac. Death Scythe has switched from the FT1 to the Jag, and this is his first race in the Jag, and I gotta say, he's doing a really good job. He's on the mediums. He's about 2 seconds behind the leader, so that's really a good job. Anubis switched from the from the Mazda to the Viper, and the Viper has been the most popular pick of all throughout the league with this recent change here. So as we were doing, Twilight is also in the vet after being in the Mazda.
Our leader goes for an early stop. He's on the soft, so he should be trying to go longer with those. So that's an interesting strategy. I don't think he's in the right strategy, but I'll gladly be proven wrong later on in the race.
That was very interesting. That was very interesting, Rob, because all these drivers have the luxury of watching GTC1 go and see what their strategies are. GTC2 and GTC3 are ran at the same time, but knowing that the soft life was about 7 to 9 laps depending on your tire management, that was an interesting strategy from J-Rod to jump on the hards and only run 5 laps on the softs. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't understand this strategy at the moment, because he was running comfortably, like he had just taken the lead. The tires looked fine, but it looks like he has something planned here on his hands, so we'll see later on in the race.
Yeah, let's see. So Anubis holding down second right now, doing a really good job in that Viper, and of course the lead relinquished back to Little Mac, and you can see the tire wear right there. Not horrible on coming into the 7th lap, so we'll see. Let's get a quick update through the field. Anubis in second. J-Rod puts his hards on. He's got his teammate still on the mediums for Death Scythe. So we might have got something wrong here. I could have sworn Death Scythe was on the mediums to begin with, and he's still on the mediums, and he looks like he has no wear. So yes, he's going into the pits. So he's running 6 laps on the mediums. I mean, those medium tires have 0 wear on them. It's just unbelievable from Death Scythe there.
Yeah, so that's some nice tire management, to be honest. Good job from Death Scythe at the moment. Yeah, I would like to mention right now that I've got some time to go. I got my Mac confused, so apparently it's early Mac in 11th place at the moment, who was in the M6, so I thought that it was a Little Mac to switch from the BMW to the Mercedes.
The double Mac got you confused. The double Mac got you confused.
That's a really bad pun from us, so we apologize for that, but yeah, that's what got me a bit messed up. So
okay. So BDRT is on the same type of strategy where J-Rod and Death Scythe are now on the hards. A lap later, though, I'm really confused on what J-Rod did. Now they have one wing on the mediums coming back to play this hunting game with J-Rod, with Death Scythe again, that has been going on for quite some time. And then you have Mdez on the hard. So these guys are getting these hards out of the way rather quick, keep in mind one wing did get them out of the hards. Let's go through the field. We have RR Inferno, who had one race. This is his second race as a Rockefeller driver. He was in the GTR, and he decided to go to the 911. Pretty good choice here for him, as he's getting his feet wet in the SFR GT Challenge, and he's coming a pretty long way here. Big Red is another one that was in the 911, and he elected to go to the Ford GT. And I'll tell you what, Big Red has been pretty impressive and consistent these last races, really all season, and I'm really happy with Big Red. He's been doing very well. And then we have Mac. Fortunately, we lost Joey Canoli in the Merc. He had to retire the car. I think the steering locked up, so Mac is in the pits and hitting the panic early. I'm sorry, Canoli is hitting the panic early, as we have Mac chasing down Big Red in the Ford GT. But back to where some of the action is. If you look at Little Mac in first place here, he is on his 8th lap on the softs, and he's got a pretty huge gap. Will this come back to bite him starting on the softs so early? It's going to be crucial to see what kind of fuel he uses and to see what tires he goes on next, running a little bit wide on that hairpin. Then we have J-Rod still holding it down in second on the hards, doing a really good job, and Anubis is on the medium. So Anubis would really ideally love to get a move on here and try starting to run down J-Rod, as that seems to be the case right now. Then you have Magic Man, went from hards to medium. So again, I said Magic Man looked pretty good with all that craziness happening at the start. Got his hards out of the way. He's getting his mediums out of the way. It's going to be crucial to see how long these guys decide to run their medium stint for. That will be the difference here tonight. And then we have Twilight on the racing hards. So he went mediums to hards as well. So him, Magic Man, Death Scythe, One Wing, they're all going to be on the softs to the end of the race, as we have One Wing now on the racing mediums with Death Scythe behind him. Let's take a ride with Death Scythe. What One Wing is doing right there, that is going to surely be a penalty, unfortunately. You cannot break the slipstream and run over the pit entry while doing it. And as a matter of fact, Death Scythe wasn't even really in the slipstream there. So, we got contact from behind from Mdez. Wow.
Yeah, Mdez really late on the brakes, makes contact with Death Scythe. Fortunately for them, both are able to keep going without major issues, but that could have been really costly from Mdez. But sure, he had no intention to do that, and they both carry on fine, so that's good.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. What happened to Mdez was he was in the slipstream on the racing hards, just couldn't pull the car up in time. So that's great sportsmanship, though, as Mdez actually got in on the first opening lap with Joey Canoli, actually, and it's just great to see the sportsmanship throughout most of the whole field here. These guys are great at what they do. Early Mac decided to go on the softs on his second stint, and he's got Inferno on the hards chasing him down, teammates. So Inferno doing a pretty good job keeping pace with Mac on the hards. Big Red is on the hards also, and here we go. The leader is entering the pits. Did 9 laps on the softs, Rodrigo.
Yep, I think that maybe ran it a bit too long. Maybe it should have been 7 or 8 laps, but I think that his strategy is still better than J-Rod, even though J-Rod is in the hards at the moment, but he is ahead of him, and he's on the softs again, looking to put in some fast laps at the moment. But right now, J-Rod is on his final lap on the hard. Lap 10, he pitted on lap 5. So, yeah, he'll be completing his stint on the hards pretty soon. And he'll be done and over with the worst race tire, probably.
Yeah, and now Mac went from soft to soft, and J-Rod is going to be from softs the rest of the way. So Mac has about a 2-second, maybe a 3-second lead after that pit stop. Now, he will build that up longer as J-Rod enters the pits this lap, you would assume, if we're correct. But that's going to come back costly, I believe, to Mac, because he's going to have to run the mediums and the hards. And if he comes out in traffic and J-Rod or the rest of these guys are able to escape, that might do Mac some some issues here. But Anubis on the mediums as well, keeping pace with J-Rod. Even though J-Rod is on the hards, J-Rod's a really fast driver in this division and overall. And
yeah, J-Rod's gonna be coming in now as he completed his stint on the hards, as I mentioned, and yep, he's done with those tires. So that's gonna be good for his race strategy, actually.
Okay, so he's got 56% fuel left, or 56 liters left. Does he do a splash and dash too? As his teammate Twilight enters, they jump right on the softs. Where is One Wing come out compared to this here? J-Rod on the softs for the rest of the race. So this is going to do wonders for J-Rod here. Coming out in fourth. One Wing on the mediums. He'll probably be coming in this lap, I would assume, or next. Dead Scythe on his hard. So Dead Scythe will be coming in this lap as well in the F-Type. And he will get onto the softs for the rest of the race. Twilight on the soft, so he would be running his teammate down. If they were going to stay on track, the smart thing for Death Scythe to do would obviously get off of these tires as soon as possible. And this is the lap to do it. He's done his mandatory 5 laps on the hards and a mandatory 5 laps on the mediums. Just for everybody here, we must remind you that is the league rules. You must do 5 on the hards, 5 laps on the hards, 5 laps on the mediums. You can do longer if you'd like, but it's mandatory that you do 5 on each compound. As Twilight is getting a little bit impatient behind his teammate here.
Yeah, I think Depside should let off now as he's holding him up on a worse race tire, but no, he still battles him. That's good to see. No team orders, I guess. We don't have team orders here, so that's good. We see actual racing between everyone, but yeah, and now Depside is coming into the pits, slightly held up Twilight, but now Twilight has clean air and can push on his use of.
And MDez enters the pits as well, so I believe, look at how much more fuel MDez has saved compared to Dead Scythe in the Jag. It's a big difference there.
I see, yeah, 8% more or so, yeah.
Yeah, and now MDez is released on softs for the rest of the race as well. So this is going to be an interesting, I think, final conclusions to these mid to end of the stints here to see what happens here.
Yeah, it seems like most people have already gone through and done all their mandatory tires, minus our leader right now, Little Max, so he'll be in the back foot for the remainder of the race when he actually does come through and puts on the medium and hards.
Yeah, and now we have One Wing actually chasing down Anubis. So Anubis is on the hards, and he did get out to a nice solid lead on those softs and mediums, but now One Wing is on the mediums. He should be getting done shortly with that stint. I don't know if it would be this lap or next. I've seen some guys run 6 to 7 laps on the mediums, which would actually cut out a pit stop for you, depending on what your strategy is, and that seems to be the preferred strategy. So One Wing is
staying out. Yeah.
Yep, he's staying out. So now you have Twilight lurking in the background on softs the rest of the way. He's out of the slipstream, of course. Just ran the fastest lap of the race, I believe. Yes, he did, a 1:38.493. Will One Wing go on the move for Anubis? Look at this. Teammates on teammates. You don't want to see this. Anubis should let him by, but One Wing has to know when to make that pass.
Yeah, I think that One Wing should have come into the pits in that lap. He's on the medium tires right now, and he's behind his teammate on the hard. So yeah, they've just put themselves in this situation, and then again, no team orders. Anubis is racing for himself, and let's see what happens here because he's defending the position. And here we go, out of the hairpin, and One Wing just hasn't got a good enough exit, and I can see that he's slightly faster than Anubis, but he needs to get the move done, and they should both push forward because they are losing time to Twilight.
Oh, a little
And
bit tight there.
Yeah.
This is not what you want.
Yeah, I'm all for not having team orders and all that stuff, but I would like to see teammates working for the greater good of the race. And right now, look at how much time they've lost.
And look at Twilight right up the middle.
Yeah, little bit of contact, but I think that's a clean move down the inside. And as I was saying, Anubis just has completely.
Oh gosh.
One wing. Yeah, as I was saying, they've just they put themselves into this situation, and well, Anubis went down the inside of Twilight, and then One Wing didn't anticipate all of this and just hit his teammate twice. They have damage, it's on weak damage, but they do have damage. It'll be fixed soon, but
yeah, Twilight luckily, I mean One Wing luckily coming into the pits with that damage, it should come off as it does as he exits the pits, but that just allowed Deathsight to get by. I bet you if that didn't happen, and he almost got sucked up by MDes there, so if that didn't happen, I'll tell you what, if they were on the radio together, this is going to have to be something that Rockefeller is going to have to go over with their drivers, because
they shall look into it.
Yeah, the team captains are going to have to, you know, really get them into line here, as you have MDes now, who's a very fast driver, although One Wing did put on the softs, and they're fresh. Now you have One Wing as MDes breathing down his neck, and again, what that allowed to happen was Deathsight is taking 6th position here, and Anubis still on the hards, coming, this might be his last lap or one of his last laps, but look at what that did for Twilight. Twilight holding down a solid 4th position right now, and he is not too far behind Magic Man, who's not that far behind J-Rod, so you know, that really opened the door for Twilight there, because that whole position around this same corner that he's exiting right now, the last corner, is where teammates Anubis and One Wing literally almost had to come to a stop. Oh, and somebody just got loose back there. I think it was Deathsight. Deathsight almost lost the car. Great car control by him.
Yeah, it looks like he has saved it, but yeah, I'm sure that the contact between the Rockefeller drivers will be one of the talking points in the race, so I'll leave it at that, and we'll probably go over it again later on.
Yeah, I think that's going to definitely come into play for sure. As let's go for a lap on board in the F-Type with Deathsight here and see what he can do, and how fast he can close in Anubis on the hard tires here. Big sweeping right-hander, which eats the tires, eat your front left tire here. Although this track is predominantly more of an eating the front right tire. Nice exit from Deathsight here, and you could just see. Look at the pace on that Viper, though. The Viper has a lot of straight line speed, even on the hard tires. Good move over the chicane. Look at how fast he railed him in here.
Yep, soft tires versus hard tires. He'll be looking then again to make that move really soon. But Anubis, yeah, he should be ending his hard tire stint pretty soon, in around lap or two. So if he can hold him up, and then when he goes into the soft, he'll probably still be in the battle with Deathsight.
Good job by Deathsight there, being very patient. And that's how it's done. And let's see. So Anubis has another lap, and he's surely going to get past here as J-Rod enters the pits, and he's getting some fuel.
That Viper has the leg there, still absolutely side by side with each other. And oh, J-Rod is coming out of the pit. This is going to be free wide. Wow. This is going to be close. They're going to have to leave space on the inside. Anubis and Depth are still side by side, but J-Rod can only just exit ahead of had Anubis tried to squeeze Depth to the inside, they might have collected J-Rod there, as they were pretty wide for a moment.
Oh, wow, I'll tell you what though, what timing by J-Rod there, because J-Rod just managed to get on to the mediums, put enough fuel in his tank to get out, and just happened to beat this. Now here you go. Now One Wing.
Oh, One Wing again. These two guys.
Yes.
One Wing out of nowhere with iPhone. That's really.
I really hope that they were on the mic together, letting him know I'm coming on your inside. And Anubis might have let off there. I really do hope that they were on the mics together. But now you have One Wing on the softs with Death Scythe on a little bit of worn softs because they are on different strategies, while J-Rod is holding this pack up on the mediums, but he did get out in front. He has every right to be there. And will J-Rod keep pace against the soft tire runners? We shall see.
J-Rod and Death Scythe not working together. I see. They should. Yeah, J-Rod shouldn't have defended like that. They should have just. Death Scythe could have just slipped with J-Rod, and they should try to defend One Wing, who's on newer soft tires right now. So yeah, I think that One Wing is gonna try to take advantage of these two teammates clearly not working together as J-Rod goes defensive again, and you beat him to the pits, get rid of the heart. Let's see what One Wing can do about this. Death Scythe really late on the brakes on the outside, leaves a lot of room for J-Rod, and One Wing very far back on the outside now, turns to the inside for Coca-Cola corner. Nope, he backs out of it. But,
going back and forth, trying to get around J-Rod. That's tight.
Bit of contact. Yeah, that's the speed difference from the mediums and the softs, but One Wing should definitely try and take it easy there.
And you don't want to ruin your tires either, because that is what's doing all that hard driving will cut your tire life down extremely hard. But this has been some sort of a battle all day between basically Death Scythe and One Wing, and you sprinkle Twilight in there and you sprinkle J-Rod in there. J-Rod playing the perfect defense for his teammate.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you want to do, Rod.
Yeah, that's also what you want to see. You want to see teammates battle when they should battle, but right now the VDRT guys are working together and they are holding off One Wing perfectly.
Well, J-Rod is making up for that last lap slipstream mistake as he's defending One Wing right now and not allowing One Wing to get a slip onto Death Scythe while they're both on the soft tires and J-Rod is on the mediums. Now, as long as J-Rod can hold up One Wing 4, even if it's for a lap like it was or two, that's a great deal, because you still get to burn your mediums, and he's bump drafting his teammate now.
That's how you do it.
That is exactly how you do it, and you're going defensive here. What's One Wing gonna do?
Down the inside. No.
Wow.
The VDRT guys have made contact, and One Wing has overshot the corner. J-Rod is in the grass. That was really aggressive. I don't think that was a good move. He made it stick. I think it was an unfortunate situation that J-Rod sent it down the inside on Death Scythe. Well, he didn't mean to. He was just trying to defend from One Wing, but I think that wasn't a great move from One Wing, if you ask me. We'll have to leave that for the Stewards inquiry, but that wasn't ideal to be completely honest.
More bumping going on here. Look at this, more bumping. He pushes Death Scythe wide.
These two meet again after their first lap incident, and no love lost between the two. And One Wing gets the position. He has newer softs. He has dispatch from Death Scythe on the more worn out softs, and One Wing driving really aggressively. You could argue that he had to make those moves, but I don't know if that's what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, he cleared him, and he got clear. He's running wide there again. I mean, One Wing is just overdriving the car. He's got speed here. He's running with speed, but it's a very long race. You have to know that, and you have to... it's debatable to see what the situation was as far as... And that's going to be another penalty there for One Wing as he's riding into the pit lane to break the slipstream. You cannot do that when a car is behind you. Those are debatable, though. There's a gray area there with that. But yeah, getting back to what we were just talking about, you have to know that if you're on the quicker tire, I don't know that the T1 was completely One Wing's fault as he overshoots the Coca-Cola corner here. I don't know that T1 was completely his fault with J-Rod and Death Scythe getting together. it definitely got stemmed because J-Rod was trying to defend and got involved there. I think the smart thing happened from Death Scythe was to go into the pits. He was on worn softs anyway. It might have been his proper lap stint to go in, but just when things were working perfectly out between J-Rod, Death Scythe, J-Rod defending for Death Scythe, there it went, and then you had One Wing before the hairpin and Death Scythe banging fenders again, causing Death Scythe to run wide. So something that we're going to have to keep an eye on here. Now, while all this is going on, Twilight is really starting to make up some ground and inherits third position smartly, aggressively, and what you like to see. And look at this. At the front, we have Little Mac on new sauce versus Magic Man.
Yeah, Little Mac just made his pit stop, just about lost the lead to Magic Man. That's what I was going to mention right now, but we've cut into the lead battle, and Magic Man breaks way too late. No, he has made it to the corner, and Little Mac, you got to look at his situation right now. He has a lot more fuel. He has already got enough to go till the end, I think, and Magic Man hasn't put on the fuel just yet. So I think that Little Mac must be a bit patient right now. And,
contact! And now, wow!
No, it's the commentator's curse. Right as I was saying it, he's gone off in 180R. He hasn't been patient at all. He needs to calm down. He's in the lead, in the net lead right now, even though he still needs to use the hard and the mediums. But I think that there are many other overtaking spots rather than the outside at 180R. So.
Yeah,
take it easy and try and get it done later.
Indeed, Rodrigo, you said it, the commentator curse. It happens, it's a real thing, and wow, that was unbelievable, because if he was just, I know he wanted that lead back, he couldn't break the slip. The Merc doesn't have the top end like the Vet does, but he would have been right up Magic Man's cracker if he would have just kept it calm through that sector, as you said. And Magic Man might have one more lap on these tires, or is he gonna go in? Yep, he's got one more lap, maybe two. Yeah. So One Wing is gonna make up ground even here now too, though. So it's surely he would have gotten the overtake. It wasn't that bad a contact. It actually was worse for Little Mac that he had to run wide because of that. It didn't really hamper Magic Man too much, but yeah, that was definitely, Little Mac definitely came out on the losing end of that. Let's get back to this now. One Wing is in third place here in the podium position after some controversial battles. J-Rod went into the pits, as you have Twilight now and Anubis. And look at Mdez tack onto the back there. Now J-Rod falls down the order as he got off his mediums, and he filled up to the end, I believe. But now you have Twilight and Anubis. Go ahead, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, once again, J-Rod comes out of the pit step, and J-Rod once again together on the track, so they'll be looking to push forward together, as J-Rod is in a newer medium compared to his teammates, and has taken enough fuel to go to the end.
And Twilight on some brand new softs, and if we look at the fuel difference, Anubis is going to be net losing positions here because he's on older softs, and he has a decent amount of less fuel than Twilight does. Let's check out Mdez, who's in a similar position here, has a little bit more fuel, and the 911 is really, really good on fuel. Mdez is somebody that you cannot sleep on here. We know he's on softs for the rest of the way, and we'll see how he can fare as we have Magic Man entering the pits now. Let's see what Magic Man does.
Magic Man finally comes in. I don't think he needs to put on either on the mediums or on the hards as he takes fuel, but really good job from him, because he kept a really good pace even on worn out softs compared to Little Mac, and he even managed to force Little Mac into a mistake, and I think that that might come in handy towards the end of the race, because Little Mac still has to run both mediums and the hard, so we'll see about that. They are definitely slower tires than being soft.
Exactly right, as Magic Man has the fastest lap of the race so far on lap 16, a 138.2, and now he is filled to the end, and he has racing softs to the end. As we go to Mac is about Little Mac is about, it's got to be almost 12 to 15 seconds. We apologize that we don't have the actual real time gaps ahead of us, but Little Mac really right now needs to focus on his soft stint right now, because we're coming to a little past, this part of the mid part of the race here where, we only have a couple stints left. Little Mac is really going to need to focus in on his soft tire stint and not make any mistakes, stay consistent, which can be easier said than done at Fuji, but he's done a really good job of that all race, and he needs to build as much distance as he can between him and Magic Man. I would think, if I'm guessing, Rod, I would think that Little Mac is going to go 5 mediums, 5 hards, because I don't think he has the time right now to go any longer than that, but we'll see how it plays out here.
Yes, not many cars are on the track close to each other right now, so it's really hard to look into something to talk about right now as commentators, but we are pretty sure that towards the end of the race, people will be coming together, and as I was saying that we've got the the three that attract the most trouble this race, I guess. One Wing, J-Rod, and DevSife all together in 6th, 7th, and 8th. So we'll see. This can turn into a pretty nice battle soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we do have Twilight and Anubis pretty close to each other, but Anubis is going to have to dip off and drop in for fuel. We'll see if Mdez does the same. Mdez looks like he has a little bit longer out of his stint here. I don't believe he has fuel to the end, but he is on new softs here. And J-Rod has fuel to the end and is on new softs. DeathScythe has fuel to the end, is on a little bit of different soft. So actually, it's a little bit weird to see, because we normally see the BDRT drivers running the exact same strategy, which is always good. But you can't always do that depending on your car. Every track is a little different, and it doesn't call for that always. But they have been in form doing that pretty much all these races. But DeathScythe is certainly on a different strategy than J-Rod and Twilight at the moment. Let's go down the order here. We have Early Mac in 9th place, and that great looking M6 of his, and he has fuel to the end, and he is on racing soft, so putting in consistent laps. Inferno for Rockefeller in the 911, he does have fuel to the end and racing softs to the end, doing a pretty good job. Big Red filled way, based on Big Red's fuel, which the Ford GT does burn a little bit more, he's definitely got fuel to the end, and he's on softs to the end of the way here. So some of the guys might need some more fuel versus others, but we know this is going to be the interesting thing here. Besides what One Wing, DeathScythe, and J-Rod might put on for us, the interesting thing is going to be here between Magic Man and Little Mac here. And I believe that 3rd place podium is going to be another position to consider here, because you have Anubis in the mix, you have Mdez in the mix, you have One Wing in the mix, you have J-Rod in the mix, and you have DeathScythe. So really from 3rd place to 8th place is we have up for grabs podium. So after these next few pit stops, that is going to definitely prove to be pretty interesting, Rod. I believe so, at least.
Yeah, me too. I think that all these people will come together. I think that right now Twilight Anubis is not in a good position, I was gonna say, because he has no fuel at the moment. But Twilight, Mday is both in a good position together with J-Rod, One Wing, and DeathScythe.
As Anubis enters right now, Mdes continues.
He has no fuel at all. He has to fill up the tank.
Coming in with 1 liter.
Yep, well done for him. Used up all of his tank, took advantage of a lighter car, and he will drop down the order now, but we'll see where he emerges.
And I'll tell you what, J-Rod is making up some ground on One Wing here. And both on the same compound, and One Wing has a lot less fuel, so that's a really solid job by J-Rod there, as One Wing's purpling just as I say that, so he's making a liar out of me. But J-Rod has a lot more fuel and on fresher softs, so about the same softs, but I think J-Rod's a lap less on soft tires here. And Death Scythe is longer. As you see, Death Scythe is really struggling on... Well, he's doing a good job on those softs, but he's struggling with pace to keep up to his teammate there. So you would expect Death Scythe to come in. I'll tell you, Rod, these strategies here have got me all over the place here. I am not sure what everybody did. As we talked about early on, J-Rod came in after 5 laps on the racing softs. So... It's been pretty crazy after all that, and Anubis on the racing softs now behind Death Scythe, and it looks like Anubis is going to inherit 7th position now after Death Scythe will go into the pits here. So this one is a real toss up here.
Yeah, looks like it, and I don't think Anubis has fuel to the end though, which is interesting to see, but. Right now, he'll have newer tires than Death Scythe. He'll be looking to gain a lot of time with a lighter car, newer tires, and maybe he can make something happen here, you know? Maybe an attack for a top 5. I think that, you know, the strategies are quite confusing, which is always nice to see, because I think that right now, from 3rd to 7th on the track are really, really close together, but we're yet to see that because of the strategies unfolding.
Yeah, exactly. I think that same exact thing, because these strategies are definitely playing a hand into this. As you see Anubis making up this ground, Death Scythe decided to stay out another lap. It might have been wise for him to go for the undercut here. Now let's see what's going to happen. Is Anubis going to go around the outside here? Death Scythe blocking.
Get the traction. Nice move. He turns towards the inside, and I think he's got him. He's got the acceleration. That's it. Great job.
Go move here.
Very, very impressive there.
Death Scythe has to be careful too, because you have an MDES coming up behind him from TPRT. Not far behind either.
Yeah, MDES on around the same fuel as Anubis and on slightly newer stuff, so these two will be together towards the end of the race, I guess. So yeah. Death Scythe is gonna have to pit. Ideally, he'll have to pit twice, you know. But if he can make if he can pit now and make the soft last 11 laps, he doesn't have to refuel anymore, so he might be in a good position, but I don't think that...
Let's see what he does here. That's 11 laps is a tough chore, and he's staying out again, so this is... Wow. Let's see what MDES can do behind him here. Look at the slipstream. The Porsche is not known for its top end, but once we get into T1... and go through the sectors of this track, this Porsche, especially on, there we go, closes the gap, especially with Death Scythe on worn softs. Man, I'll tell you what, I don't know, this is very interesting to me, because I don't know what Death Scythe's actual strategy has been, but he is on some, you know, metal of tires showing through. MDES right up the tailpipe.
Yep, and while we look at this battle, I'm gonna talk about the leader, but you keep on that battle because that's gonna be interesting. Right now, Little Mac, our leader, who's gone all the way so far, is going to have to switch to either the mediums or the hards right now. There are only 10 laps to go. He has a pretty healthy lead on Magic Man, but he's gonna have to take all his fuel now, so to lose a lot of time, and he's gonna have to use both the mediums and the hard, which are slower racing tires. So there he is coming, and I think he won't be in the lead. He got led all the race due to his strategy, but now it doesn't look like he'll be in the lead as Magic Man has taken over in the lead.
Oh! MDES was going for the move. Death Scythe was letting him around. Oh, right before the last turn through this difficult third sector. Oh, MDES, he had the move on Death Scythe, and we caught it on camera. He went right from the inside, and he just got a little bit loose, and he went into the wall. Luckily, he doesn't have damage. He was able to recover pretty quickly, but that is going to put a damper on his run because he would have been past Death Scythe. That just costed him, and now somebody comes out of the pits in front of him.
It's Death Scythe. It's Death Scythe.
Oh wow, that just Death Scythe. Well, he beats Death Scythe out, but Death Scythe is now right on his tail. Death Scythe has poor Mdez there. That was just unfortunate.
Yeah, he was together with Death Scythe, and Death Scythe made a stop and only came out around 2 seconds behind him, so he lost a whole pit stop. I didn't catch what happened on camera as I was busy on Little Mac myself, but yeah, it sounds like an unfortunate racing incident, and now he's in the back foot.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Death Scythe at all. Death Scythe was just actually leaving some room, and it's just you know, that section is off camber. If we're watching MDez right now, we will point out the sector that he lost it on here. Death Scythe, I think, was giving him the blinker last lap to actually take the inside of the hairpin, but MDez either didn't notice that or just couldn't get it done. He came through this sector here where we're on right now, where he was actually trailing him. He went to the inside right here. When he went to the inside right here, he came out, he had to move, and he almost did it again!
Oh, what the... Once again, yeah, he couldn't bury his demons in one lap. Hopefully in the first lap he won't get loose at all to that corner, but I think he's pretty he's looking pretty good for an 8th place or 7th place finish right now. He can still battle it out with.
Yeah, well, he's gonna lose the position to Death Scythe because of that, no matter what. Because Death Scythe has fresh tires and he has the fuel. Although Death Scythe, you know, now that he pit, let's see, Rodrigo, Death Scythe pit on lap 28, so that means he's going to have to go 11 laps on the softs. That is going to be a chore, if I say so myself. So MDez, even though he might need fuel, he actually might be able to catch Death Scythe up here, as we have a pretty close battle now raging on between Death Scythe and MDez.
Yeah, Death Scythe at the end of the race will have incredibly worn out tires. I think he actually pitted with 10 laps to go, so he'll have to run them for 10 laps, not 11, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's gonna be... I don't think it's the right strategy, to be honest. They're way too worn out by the end, so that's why I think that MDez isn't completely out of this one battle just yet.
Yeah, you're right about that, as Death Scythe got the move in the hairpin, but we'll have to check this out. Let's just stay on this and hope, and there's Magic Man in the pits now, and we'll get back to the lead in 1 second. Let's hope MDez can get out of this corner properly here and have no more incidents. He goes a little bit wide, but I'd rather see go wide than go short and hit those curbs that can be ever so nasty. And he slides a little bit.
Yeah,
let's get back to the lead. Ooh, look at the lead now. We're on the lead lap.
Side by side, and Magic Man. I think that was a good move by Magic Man. Little Mac is on the hearts, and he still has one whole stop to go. And
now
Magic Man clearly doesn't.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Little Mac run the mediums that I didn't see?
Magic Man?
No, Little Mac.
No, Little Mac is yet to run his mediums. He's gonna do the five final lap on the mediums. So he's definitely losing this battle at the moment.
Okay, so Little Mac, my fault. He's defending pretty hard right now on the racing hards, which totally legal, totally fine, especially when you're battling for position. But I guess Little Mac went the pits a lap or two ago that I didn't notice when we were focusing on MDez and Death Scythe. So
yeah, Magic Man just has to be patient right now because he doesn't have to make another stop. While Little Mac has to pit for the medium tires, and even like slightly worn soft tires that he might have towards the end of the race, they are still equal or even better than these soft. So he's on a pretty good spot at the moment. So he just has to get the move done in a safe spot, and I think it's right here.
Yep, on board with Magic Man as Mac put the blinker on, knows that he's beat on the soft tires. Let's see this pace of this vet down the straight.
Still the AMG puts up a good fight against the Mighty Beth on a straight line, but into the braking zone, side by side, yeah, Magic Man has to move on. He's on new softs versus new hards. I think that we have a clear winner out here. So yeah, right now Magic Man needs to keep it on the track, and he's looking in quite a good shape for the win.
Yeah, if Magic Man can keep it on track and not do anything to mess that up, keep track of his tires, settle his, not wear his tires too much. And I think Mac is happy with the fact that he has a pretty decent gap on third place, so when he does put the mediums on, if he could run those hards, because Anubis has to make a stop, and he's going to be stopping for new tires and fuel, as Twilight has relatively new softs on and is good to go. So Twilight is pretty much net third, and we'll see if he can come back and beat and beat Mac on the mediums. But let's see on board through these technical sections with Twilight and see what he could do against this Viper, who looks like he's going to be coming in this lap.
Yeah, Anubis has no fuel at all at the moment, so he's going to have to come in pretty soon, if not this lap, one later. But right now the cars that are going to the end are Magic Man and maybe Twilight. It looks like he has slightly worn stuff, but he can definitely take a gamble and go to the end. So here we have a pretty interesting pack at Twilight, one wing, J-Rod and Deathside might be going to the end, so we might have a 3 or a 4-way battle for first place as Anubis comes in right now.
Now, that was a great move by Twilight and a great example of what you're supposed to do when drafting somebody. He was drafting Anubis properly until he saw Anubis go entering the pits. He immediately broke to the left. Not actually broke, not actually hit the brakes, but he veered to the left and he got out of the slipstream and he wasn't riding the pit lane entry. So that is how it's done for everybody watching at home. Very, very good sportsmanship and race etiquette there. Now, we do have one wing on some fresh soft tires here in 4th place. So this could, and he's about 3 to 4 seconds, 3 seconds I'd say behind Twilight. So Twilight is on a little bit of older tires, so we're going to see. And then we have J-Rod on some fresh softs too, along with Death Scythe, who's looking to hold 6th place off of Anubis. Where's Mdez? Mdez is in 8th. Anubis doing a pretty solid job. He got fuel and he got out of the pits before Mdez was able to overtake him there.
Yep.
And we have Mac, Inferno, and Big Red all on the softs to the end of the race. Big Red getting used to the Ford GT. One of the best drivers in our league, DNA Jeeves, did struggle a little bit on this track, as we have Mac entering the pit in the Ford GT. So I would say that I know Big Red is learning this car. Here comes Mac.
Mac comes in and he's gonna go till the end on the mediums, and Twilight is not far off. He's on the top tires, though slightly more worn out. So I don't know if he can make this happen, but yeah, Little Mac going till the end on mediums. I think he's in a pretty good spot at the moment. If not for 2nd place, maybe for a podium right now. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
Mac is going to have to put in. The good thing that he's doing here is that I don't like running myself the hards to the mediums back to back at the end of the race, because you're vulnerable to get run down. But unless he built his lead up, which he did do pretty consistently in the beginning of the race on the softs, he built it up pretty well where he's able to get a pretty decent gap out to allow him to have this buffer here. Although it's not much, it's still a buffer. But it allowed him to do pretty well against Twilight here, who's really looking to run him down here. And he's got to keep track of his tires here, though, because if he could just get into the slipstream, he will be able to run down Little Mac on the mediums. But we'll see, Rodrigo. We'll see what the difference is. Let's take a look here. Oh, this is Mac's outlap, so it's going to be tough to tell here, but we'd see what he'd be running on.
Yeah, that's a pretty unrealistic lap time. We cannot judge from that. 36.8.
Yes.
So we'll have to wait just another lap.
Yeah, and we have Twilight at 139.5. And we have, and look at this, we have One Wing at a 138.0 on some fresher soft. So you got a 130. That's a second and a half that One Wing is making up per lap here. So despite all the craziness in the beginning and the middle of the race here, you do have One Wing setting about a second to a second and a half quicker lap times than Twilight here. And what's J-Rod at? J-Rod at the same thing on lap 32, 138.5, 139.5. So he dropped off a second in one lap. He could have had a little bit of an issue, but J-Rod is in the mix as well. As
yeah,
we
but yeah, with only well, with slightly more worn-out softs than One Wing, and J-Rod with slightly newer softs than One Wing. So these three cars should be coming together towards the end of the race and maybe battle for a podium position, you know, as Twilight holds it down right now.
Yeah, I think that, and again, so we're going to take a look at Mac here and see what he's running here when he crosses the finish line, as Magic Man has basically checked out, and a great performance so far from Magic Man as he enters T1. Mac crossing the line here at, I believe it was 138. Yes, a 138.999. So just under a 139, and Twilight is at a 139.3, and One Wing again at a 138.1. So things are heating up here as J-Rod ran his fastest lap of the race, a 138.4. So that lap 33, J-Rod was a second off his pace, which could have really hurt him for chasing down One Wing. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have the battle between One Wing and Twilight here. So Rockefeller and BDRT once again seemingly coming together, and RWB is not out of the woods yet, as Mac is on the mediums and could be caught by either one of these two drivers because they are closing in pretty fast. But we'll keep an eye on this battle here between One Wing and Twilight.
One Wing closes in a lot into the hairpin. Twilight is gonna want to slow down One Wing a little bit, to be honest, as J-Rod isn't so far back, and BDRT working together with BDRT, J-Rod still has a chance for the podium, and we'll see what happens as Twilight still parks it on the apex. One Wing, oh, he almost leaves the door open, One Wing on the outside, and he cannot make it stick just yet. Maybe on the exit, no, Twilight slowing down One Wing a little bit so J-Rod can catch, and it's looking like it can happen right now, so it might be a freeway battle for the podium out here.
Indeed, it could be. One Wing was given the highlights to get out of my way, but Twilight, every right to be there. Oh, good defensive move. You got one move, you can't block.
Yeah, it's killing One Wing at the moment. Look at the Twilight's lap time, 40 points. J-Rod's lap time, 38.6. It's a second and a half, almost 2 seconds. So if he keeps on doing this, he's giving a massive help to his team and to his teammates to get the podium out here. So this is massive for BDRT at the moment.
Absolutely. And Twilight
doesn't leave the inside open.
You can't do it. It's part of racing. So he's doing everything in his power on some worn soft tires to allow J-Rod to get back in the mix, but even Twilight himself is now, all bets are off on the penultimate lap. He is battling for himself.
That was a pretty late block, a little bit of contact, but yeah, a bit of a late block, but still holding it down. And look at who's sweeping up on that TV shot. It's J-Rod, and he's got the newest softs out of all these guys, so he can definitely take these two positions right now if this keeps it up.
100% right. J-Rod has closed the gap and is within 0.4 to 0.5 seconds behind. Total different lines between One Wing and Twilight coming out.
Here we go. So Twilight slightly loose out of the final corner, but he is still protecting the inside. J-Rod looks like he has made a mistake. Twilight being way too aggressive with One Wing there, banging doors, and yeah, J-Rod looks like he made a mistake as he ran at 141, so he's lost a chance for the podium.
And these guys are still banging here.
What is going on here with these two? Oh, there. I don't know if there's been contact, but J-Rod still has a chance for the podium now.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't. These two were just banging doors for the straight, and I don't know if there was contact in the braking zone. I couldn't see too clearly, but it looked like there was, and one wing made contact with Twilight. But now J-Rod is right behind Twilight, and almost a bit of contact. But no, I think J-Rod is letting Twilight have that position, as Twilight was making a favor to J-Rod.
Yeah, I think fourth place, I think, is well deserved for Twilight, and I think J-Rod is going to not put up a stink about that, although J-Rod has major stake in the championship here, so, but this is what good teammates do. As we get back to Magic Man, who is running around the final corner in the Chevy Corvette. What a run by Rockefeller's Magic Man to take first place by a wide margin. Great job. Congratulations, Magic Man, on your win.
Really good. Mount Fuji was well and truly alive today for this for the GTC3 driver. So great job from Magic Man. Great job from the podium.
Yep, and great job by Little Mac. His first race here, taking home a solid second place.
BDRT, here we go. Formation all the way to the finish.
One wing takes third. What are they going to do here? And
they keeps the position, yeah. So that's interesting to see.
And look at Death Scythe coming home in a solid sixth place, having his own battles. But look at those tires, ladies and gentlemen. Just to be able to drive on those tires is something exceptional. MDez will take seventh position. Anubis a close eighth. Really great battles by those guys all day today. And we have Mac in the Beamer coming home in ninth, as long as he doesn't get cursed by us. Everybody on the lead lap. Inferno. Yeah, Inferno will take 10th. So there's Mac crossing the finish line. Yes, again, everybody on the lead lap. Good job here. And look at Inferno's tires. So he did something similar and went longer as well. Really long stints. Again, strategy is everything in these races. It's what it comes down to. And Big Red is on his tail with a lot less worn tires here. So depending on some pit infractions or penalties, Rodrigo, we could see possible positions change. But I got to tell you something here. I'm sweating here after that race. Let me tell you something. I am sweating here after that race, Rod. I'll tell you the truth, because that was something interesting from the beginning to the end, depending on strategies and depending on the whole situation that happened between One Wing and Death Scythe in the beginning, and then that last lap between One Wing and Twilight. Those are talking points of the race. But before we get into any of that, and we have to give congratulations to Magic Man and Little Mac for running flawless races, taking the first and second place. Great job by them. But yeah, let's get your thoughts on what happened. I wish maybe in the future we could do this, but I wish we had these guys here to interview them, because that was some crazy rubbing racing. Yes, is what it is, but really aggressive racing here. And I don't know the exact times that they crossed, but it didn't look like it was that far. But you could already chalk up that we know One Wing is going to get a penalty for the slipstream riding pit lane. So besides that's a penalty.
And the incident on the final lap, I don't know. We'll have a look into it for sure. These two look to be no love lost even with that incident. They were wrapping on the straight and they both went off into turn one. But that was strange to see, I guess.
Yeah, and then J-Rod was almost there. He was within not even a half a second going into that, final lap there. So, and then like you said, unfortunately, J-Rod made a slight mistake coming out of the final corner on the penultimate lap. But what a battle, battling all day. So at the moment, One Wing holds down the podium position. A great fight by Twilight from BDRT, and really a great job by J-Rod and Death Scythe as well. So yeah, everybody really put on a great performance. There was battles all over the place. Anubis, MDes from TPRT, really, really good stuff, guys. So we are proud of all you. We will get to the results for GTC2 and GTC3 rather quickly. We hope, hopefully it's done by Monday, but you guys have given us a lot to look at, and we have to go over a decent amount of stuff. Wouldn't you say, Rod?
Yeah, surely. Our life on the Stewart report will not be easy. I suggest all drivers keep calm until we get it out, and we'll try to analyze it as best as possible. But it's not gonna be easy for us, surely there will always be someone unhappy, someone involved in the incident. But we are surely trying our best, to be honest, and we'll see what comes out of it.
Yep, exactly. And, so before we let you guys go here, again, anybody that's interested in joining or just being a part of us, seeing these great races take place, subscribe to Demo One Garage. You can find him on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And for us is the SFR GT Challenge on Facebook. Our Discord channel is in there, so if you or you know anybody that wants to get involved with the league racing, feel free to join our Discord. Also, if you just like watching this exciting racing that's been taking place here, all you have to do is tune in to the SFR GT Challenge website, YouTube page, and we will have all our races broadcasted there from all three divisions. But for now, we will get out of here after a great race in GTC3. For Catch, it's Rodrigo, and we'll be seeing you guys next week for the GTC3 Round 7 at the ever so challenging Mount Panorama, better known as Bathurst. So, Rod, if we thought this was interesting, I can't wait to see what happens there.
Yep, surely one of the toughest tracks, not on this game, on the world, and it's gonna be hard for people to even keep it on the track there, drivers will have to step up their game, so I really, really want to see that, of course, and then, until then, we'll see you around, guys.
Yes, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.